Above the waves, steaming for all to see. El Cachorro, El Cachorro. There's a dawn superheroes day today for you and me. El Cachorro, El Cachorro.
Welcome into another El Cachorro Ahsoka video. We're really late in making this because the new episode's already out, but I thought we should do at least a little quick recap of episode 6, Far, Far Away. Obviously playing off the galaxy far, far away. Rift, from Star Wars. And I'm sorry for my 15, 20 viewers that actually watch these videos for putting this one out late, so we'll make a quick, maybe talk about this one. And some other stuff, like the thing that's really polarizing to me is the hate this show is getting. Yes, there are some certain YouTubers that are overblowing the show as the greatest thing that's ever existed, and yes, they're okay. They're granted, yeah, they're going overboard. But on the other side, then there's all these people that are absolutely hating this show, calling it horrible, saying it's terrible. The writing's horrible, the acting's terrible, the pacing's terrible, this is terrible, 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 terrible. And pretty much calling it like one of the worst shows that's really ever. What? I mean, the show's so far, I would rate it about an 8 out of 10. That's a good show, people. That's got a good show. I mean, even ratings on IMDb is like an 8. Rotten Tomatoes is like in the 70s, 80%. It's called a good show, people. Shows don't. You don't get 100% level shows all the way around. 10 out of 10 shows. Even Game of Thrones has slow parts. Even Walking Dead has slow parts and down episodes. And this show's easily on par with any of those. It's easy on par with Andor. It's easy on par with The Mandalorians, especially the first couple seasons, since everybody hates the third season of that show for some reason as well, even though I don't think it was that bad. It's easily better than Boba Fett. It's better than Kenobi. It's better than a lot of stuff Netflix makes. So I don't understand the overwhelming hate on the show. Besides having to make the one obvious, glaring accusation, which everyone goes to. You kind of got to wonder if there's some kind of political leanings with the hate the show is going to get. Because, I hate to be the guy to call that out, but it's like, yes, some of this hate is just over the toply ridiculous. It's been a very solid show. That rant out of the way. So let's get started. Okay, so the episode opens with the Star Rails in space, beautiful visuals. I mean, look at this, and that's beautiful visuals. These visuals are amazing. This looks great. Then we go to Ahsoka and Huang in the cockpit talking. As she mentioned, she didn't mention to Hera and them that Sabine went willingly with the enemy. And they're worried about the choices she's making. And then some jokes to be made. He pretty much makes it, wants her to tell you he's got this story of the archives, of the 6 chapters of the archives, which the first 3 are the best, so people are already making that as a joke about the first 3 of the original trilogy being the best and stuff like that. Or I don't know if it was 1 through 6 or 1 through 9 or something like that. But the story tells is Far, Far Away, which is the name of the episode. Also, so he also says a galaxy far, far away, a long time ago. So it drops a whole little Star Wars line. So very cute, very cute. We go with our enemies arriving at this galaxy. I can't remember what they call the planet, but it's surrounded by a ring, which happens to be a ring made up of dead star whales bones. Because apparently this jump is where the star whales go to die, pretty much, is what it turns out to be. It's where the star whales graveyard is. So they go to the planet, easily find civilization, I guess, immediately. And we have a tower with 3 Night Sisters. So we're bringing back more Night Sister stuff. And, well, Night Sister and sister relative thing. So they call them the Great Mother. So they're pretty much 3 that are on the Mother Talzin level kind of Night Sisters. To which they say Thrawn is coming, and they spell Jedi all over Sabine. Well, there was a scene with Sabine on the ship. Oh, so we do get this one. I just skip over that. There's a spot of Sabine on the enemy ship in a jail cell, going back and forth, and Baylan checks in on her, and she's like, "We had a deal. We had a deal. The deal was he wouldn't hurt you, not keep you captive." So. But yeah, so they enter the planet. She's all still in shackles, and the Night Sisters smell Jedi, and they use those little ball things to transport her down below to a holding cell. To which she does more of the, "Oh, we had a deal stuff. Oh, I had a deal." It's like, okay, yeah, you're whatever. That part I will have. We have a scene then, and finally we get some nice, good back side story action with Baylan, and Shin. He's talking about how there's a never-ending cycle. It's Empire, Jedi, Rebels kind of thing. Just keeps going back and forth. And he's out there he's not really with Thrawn, because Thrawn's going to do the next part, obviously, but he wants to find something that will help them end the whole cycle altogether. So we find out that Baylan is here on this planet because he's chasing some greater power. That was from the fairy tale that the Jedi books had. So he came here to look for this greater power. So it's really cool because now we know there's something going. These guys are going somewhere. So really, really exciting because to see where that story's going. We cut back. Sabine's back in her cell. She's trying to use the Force to open the door, and everything starts rumbling. Everything starts shaking and gets dark, and next thing we know, here comes a Star Destroyer in. It is the Shamara, beat up. If some damage, it has some makeshift repairs done to it. But the Shamara comes in, and they're on this tower, right? So the Shamara comes in and just lowers itself, where its hangar is pretty much equal to the tower. So really, really cool scene. And that, of course, leads to the entrance of Grand Admiral Thrawn. So Thrawn comes in as he walks past all his troopers who are chanting Thrawn, Thrawn, Thrawn. These troopers are really cool. They got beat up gear. They have red ribbons tied around them. For that's obviously the Night Sister influence there. So they have Night Sister ribbons wrapped around them. So Thrawn comes walking down past them. This is another thing people have been bitching about, is the Thrawn who's played by a 70-year-old actor who's not in John Cena shape. So people are mad about Thrawn not being this well-built, toned dude. It don't bother me at all. I think he fits the outfit there. I thought it kind of fits what you would think someone in that kind of outfit would look like. So he fits the military general kind of thing. So we get our debut of Thrawn, and I like the look. I think I like the face, and Lars does a great job of bringing back the same voice he did from Rebels, and he just has that Thrawn. They had it's the right call. He feels like Thrawn. His voice at work is impeccable. So he comes and greets everybody for coming and getting him. Surprised that there's 2 mercenary Jedis, and then he finds out about the prisoner. Where they took a prisoner, and they told him it was Sabine Wren. So he's like, "Oh, well." So then he's excited. So he feels good about having the prisoner because, obviously he knows her. We also meet the head of his military there. I can't remember the guy's name, but dude, that face mask is awesome. So they bring out Sabine. She, her reintroduction of Thrawn. You have a little back and forth, which I thought was perfect. He's like trying to taunt her and stuff like that. Then he says, "Hey, well, I know about your agreement. I'm going to let you go. We're going to let you go. Find Ezra. You know, you're hard to help me get back home." So he frees her. This guy gives her back all of her weapons. Pretty much says, "Hey, we're leaving in 3 days with or without you. So you'll be left here." So pretty much lets her know that, hey, yeah, we're leaving. And says it's hostile out there. Die well. So really like this character. His character seems really cool. So Sabine goes off. Then we see all our bad guys at the top of the tower watching her go off. And then we see Thrawn's first double cross where he turns to Balin. He goes, you guys are welcome to follow." And Shin's like, "Wait, she hit our word." And so the Thrawn manipulating. It's like, "Oh, I haven't lived to my word. She's been set free. She's going to go find Ezra. I only promised to let her find Ezra. Once she finds him, you guys can kill him." So he sends the two mercs out after to follow Sabine to follow her to Ezra so that they can kill both of them. Very Thrawn, very cool. So we get that quick little double cross. So while Sabine's out, she runs into some bandits. To which she defends herself mostly with her guns and then resorts to her lightsaber at the last second. I know some people are like, "Oh, she's using the lightsaber, the blaster bolts." Maybe one. That may have been just luck that she did it, by the way. Most of the time, it's the convenience of everybody only shoots Mandalorian people in their Beskar so that they don't hurt them. So everybody has... Wow, all these people have such impeccable aiming that they always hit the Beskar. So she takes out the bandits. A couple of them escape. Her dog threw the wolf creature thing that they gave her to ride on, throws her off and took off running. So then we have a scene. So they have a little back and forth scene where she's bonding with the dog, and he starts smelling something again. There's the dog. There he is. Leads her to a spot where there's water, and then he finds these hermit crab bug people who speak obviously language you don't know, but they react to her rebel insignia on her shoulder pad, and they have like little necklaces with the rebel insignia. So that obviously tells her that they know Ezra. So she goes with them to find Ezra. We see Balin and Shin show up where the first battle took place, and they're checking everybody out. And they see a couple more of the... I don't know what you call them. Pirates? I don't know. The weird guys, the guys on the planet. I can't think of a good word for them. And like, the enemy of our enemy is our friend. So they kind of unite with them to go after Sabine. And then we also get the reveal of Ezra Bridger. I did not expect this. I expected Thrawn. I thought they would save him for a little bit. I thought they were going to save him. Maybe to the finale. But we got Thrawn and Ezra both together in the same episode. And a lot of people were upset because there was not a huge emotional thing here. I get that. You kind of think there would be. But they kind of kept the writing trying to be how these two characters always were to each other in the cartoon. In the animated show. They always kind of like break each other's balls a little bit. So a little back and forth, and they hug. And Sabine's kind of like dodging some information on how she got there and about going home and stuff like that. So, kind of shady. I think that would be something she needs to say. So you would think that part could have been a little better. It was like, yeah, because you had 3 days to go back to Thrawn's ship to go, and you don't really have time to delay not telling him, but whatever. Then we go back with the Night Sisters are sensing that Ahsoka is on her way, and they're informing Thrawn that that's happening. And Thrawn goes immediately in the calculating mode, saying, "Oh, the mercenaries have failed." Oh, we forgot. Oh, good. Well, I threw this part. So he says, start preparing for her arrival. It's like shoot any star whales that show up, and I want all the information I can on Ahsoka Tano, her master, her training, all that stuff. So it's simply very Thrawn learning about his opponent, showing the whole learning about his opponent thing that he's good for. There was also a part where when Thrawn sent out a couple of things, troops to assist Balin and Shin, like two regions of troops, and Morgan's like, well, why not more? He's like, well, A, I don't have enough people, because B, if they win, they get them, they get them. If not, we're leaving the planet anyways, and I don't care if we leave your mercenaries behind too. So he double crosses Sabine after letting her go. And he also sent the mercs out to kill Sabine, and then pretty much is double crossing them, saying, hey, if we have to leave them, we leave them. So that's typical Thrawn right there. He's manipulating, he's backstabbing. That's how Thrawn works. So I was like, I think the Thrawn was great. I thought they pulled it off amazing. But yeah, so the episode ends out with him preparing for Ahsoka Tano's arrival. I said you had the two intros that were super good. We had like a little bounty fight with the pirate scavengers. I don't know, the roamers. That is a word. I can't think of it. So you get that little bit of action sequence. So not a ton of action. There's a lot of story building, a lot of introducing the two big missing characters. So a super solid episode. Again, I really enjoyed it. I'm still thinking I'll stick around at an 8 on this one. I said I like the story being driven. Balin's now chasing something bigger. What is he chasing? I mean, yeah, there's some parts that could have been written a little better. I won't deny that, but it's still a super solid show overall. I can forgive a few little glitches here. I mean, like, how does Thrawn even know what happened to the Empire? That's a huge movie gap thing that you'd see, but you get the same stuff, some of that stuff with Marvel movies. Maybe the Night Sister saw it and told him the whole story. But the negatives are greatly outweighed by how positive everything else within the episode was. So super happy, loved it. We'll end this recap with that, and until next time.
I can feel the panic coming on.